On October 28th, RealismCraft updates to 2.2, which brings custom, vibrant visual compatibility and effects to this dynamic world. If you already own RealismCraft, you will get this update for free. It may happen automatically or it may need to happen manually, but it's all yours. If you don't currently own RealismCraft, it's available in the Minecraft marketplace for 1,690 mine tokens. Every block and mob will be given new mapping details to take full advantage of vibrant visuals in Minecraft Bedrock. And in today's video, we're going to have a look early and see what we get. A massive thank you goes out to Spark Universe as always for giving me early access to the RealismCraft 2.2 update and allowing me to release this video early before release as well to get you guys a sneak peek and as hyped up as possible. And just keep in mind, I'm playing on Minecraft Preview, which is a terrible game state, to be honest with you. I'm playing on a Minecraft Realm, and I'm playing on PS5 using an early access copy. So try to bear that in mind when watching, just in case anything janky happens. I'll keep it on the screen at the top on a roller as well, so you're always reminded that this is a sneak peek early access view of RealismCraft 2.2. So I've loaded into a RealismCraft 2.2 world here on Minecraft Preview, and the first thing I just want to touch upon before we get into the texture pack review. Now, one of the big things that made RealismCraft amazing was the visual effects that was added, where they artificially created god rays, they artificially created shader-like effects to try and get that into Minecraft Bedrock. Now that we have vibrant visuals enabled on Minecraft Bedrock, and it's now compatible with RealismCraft, they now don't need to lean on that too much and can allow the game to do a little bit more for them. And that's kind of apparent in the VFX settings menu. You see, there's now a presets button. Now, if you're not using vibrant visuals, you can just choose fancy, and it will set the world to be a fancy schmancy version of the RealismCraft world for the fancy video settings. If you're playing in vibrant visuals, you can select the preset for vibrant visuals, and it will pick what it thinks is the correct settings. Or you can go in and you can do whatever you want for yourself. Now, I have the vibrant visual preset on, and what that does is turn off dense distance fog, and it turns off god rays because these shouldn't need to be so artificially created. I may even think about turning off underwater god rays depending on how it looks underwater, but it's completely up to you. Hopefully I remember to put my current brightness settings on the screen as well for you. But again, that's also up to you. It's all about how you play. And apparently the VFX settings here are now per player, whatever that means, because I don't play on multiplayer worlds. So just so you know, they're now per player. But if we look around the world, we don't need to spend so much time looking at every texture at the moment. I mean, we can see immediately on the grass block that there are height maps involved, but I know that they're not on every block. They're on some blocks. They're used artistically to try and drive home certain elements on certain blocks. I also know that this is only step one of vibrant visuals for RealismCraft, and as it becomes more and more adaptable, it's going to be more and more upgraded. So what we can do is have a little look around inside forests and stuff. I'm going to adapt today's texture pack review, so we're not going to visit a village. And we're not necessarily going to look at hostile mobs either, but we will look at nighttime. So if we go running through here, what kind of effects do we get? I believe they've tried to keep it as RealismCraft as possible. They don't seem to want to change too much of the settings and what makes RealismCraft, but they also don't need you to be manufacturing all of the god rays and stuff that you would do normally. Like, we can see the shadows moving, we can see the animated blocks, we can see how light is being absorbed by certain blocks. Admittedly, I did expect a little bit more as we was running through, and I am kind of reserving overall judgment because of Minecraft Preview, because of sun location and position. It's all just a little bit, yeah, it's a little bit crazy. I've got my imported Armoury up there, which could also be having an effect on certain things. So maybe we go over here to another area a little bit further away and we just walk through. But I do feel like they could probably work to get a bit more, like that looks really nice just there, the sun bouncing through. Maybe they could do a little bit more to just push down some natural god rays. I feel like it's not as strong as it potentially could be, but it is still that awesome RealismCraft dynamic world that so many people love and enjoy. So it's obviously a balance of trying to find what works between the two. We can head down here as well. I was heading in this direction for a reason, because we've got the water. Now, obviously, vibrant visuals, so important, the water. And I like this. I like this water on here. It's the right kind of color. It's not too bright. Very difficult visibility to see through the water. I think this looks really, really nice. And if we get underneath the water, this is with the artificial god rays as well. Now here, I feel like this is a bit too excessive. I would argue that you don't need this many god rays. So if we go into VFX settings, ambient overworld, and we get down here and just turn off the underwater god rays, and we give Minecraft Preview a chance to just catch up with me here. Okay, you see how that toned it down? And then kind of eliminated everything. I feel like there needs to be a bit more. We need a bit more of a balance between the two. Like, I like the water, I like the visibility, I like how low the visibility is down here. I do, but those lighting effects through the water, it's less visually stunning in my opinion and more murky. You know me, guys, even though I've got early access, and like I say all the time, thank you so much to Spark Universe for giving me early access, that doesn't mean I'm going to lie and say that something is exactly how I want it to look when it's not. I could have done with a bit more god rays naturally there. If we run through the birch area, but then look at that there, with before the trees spawned in, with the realm, that there with the water looked really nice. I think the water's really, really nice. The fog density is working really cool here as well. And that's another thing that kind of gets fixed. So I think we looked at RealismCraft, or maybe Realism VFX actually, with vibrant visuals once. And it was really messing around with the lighting effects and the fog. That will all be kind of adapted now. So you can see we've got different styles of it here, just looking through. So it's a lot more subtle, a lot more RealismCraft-esque, as we've got some height maps on the block here. Maybe not as perfect, not as beautiful, not as vibrantly visually stunning as I would have hoped. But I'm holding out hope that there is still more updates coming. Obviously, all of this weird jankiness is a realm thing, not a RealismCraft thing. If we spawn in the Iron Golem here, we can see the Iron Golem has got height maps on him, which is why I wanted to show him off instead of going to a full village today. We can see we've got like little bits, dents and grooves and detailing on him, which is very, very cool. And then obviously one other thing that we need to look at here in the overworld is going to sunset. And first of all, watching the sunset, we always need to give that a bit of a look. Like, that looks stunning. That there, these are the god rays that I'm looking at right here. Yes, please. Give me those god rays. In fact, this is what I want right here. That kind of heat that we had there, like, it's so hard to just capture it, but yeah, you see that just coming through the leaves on here? This is what I want. That there. Oh, that is so good. But I want that during the day as the sun is moving, not just when the sun is setting. Okay, sunset is when this pack seems to come alive. Look, you got it over there as well. Okay, so we do have actual god rays in here. I'm glad that we looked at that. We got the ground fog popping here as well. We've got the sun just setting off in the distance here as my world is still loading in around me. Thank you, Realms. Thank you, Minecraft Preview. You're the absolute worst thing in existence. And then the moon comes up and we get this kind of silvery, bluish hue to the world. Very nice. That is nice. And the fog reacting well with it as well. And then you can see the water off in the distance there too. Okay, that's nice. That is a bit nicer on here. I was starting to worry, but there is definitely some elements that are really, really good. Look at that. That has to be one of the strongest moonlight shines I've seen, and that is awesome. Look at that. That glittery effect. And if we go underwater here, we get those natural god rays now from the moon. You know what? RealismCraft might excel at night, actually. That's visually cool. I'm loving this. This right here, I'm loving. During the day, there was a bit missing. I'm not even going to lie to you. But this here, and as we were going through the forests as well, just that nighttime essence glow, what do you want to call it? I don't know, but that felt nicer as we was coming through with the sunset. I don't want to ruin it, but let's show it off. If we go through a forest here, how does it look as we're going through the forest here? Okay, there's a little bit. Oh, yeah, I see it. I see the moon rays seem to be showing through a lot better. Okay, that's nice. And then if we go into spectator mode, so game mode spectator, how does it look underground? So far, I think it's a mixed bag. I think the day could probably be stronger. I think the nighttime is very nice. I want to find us a kind of open cave, not too much light, but not too dark either. So let me try and find one of those. So maybe we can use over here then. We got this big lava pool down here. The heat definitely flying off of this lava pool here as well. Like, you can feel the heat coming from that. The darkness in areas is still here too. There's quite a plain silvery effect for running water, which I don't necessarily like. But then other than that, like, we don't have particular glow on the ores, which is a bit of a shame. We'll see more of that in the Armoury section. And then over here, you've got a bit more heat. But this is nice with the glow lichen. You can actually see the lights glowing. I think the spider had glowy eyes over there, but we won't get closer to him. That's fine. And then just, yeah, in terms of darkness, it's not the darkest pack I've seen, but it's also not the most vibrantly visual pack I've seen. And just to be, you know, maybe be a bit harsh, maybe not. And then I think somewhere over here was a trial chamber that we can probably glance at instead of having a full section. So let's just go find that. And then here we go. So we've got the trial chamber here. Let's have a look on here, how it's looking. Okay. So again, not as much of a shine and glisten as I was expecting. You can feel the light. Oh, hang on. Oh, it's water. It's a water effect. Okay, so you can see the light glistening off of the water, and that was kind of cool, actually. Go up there. That light effect just moving back and forth with the little waves of the water, that's cool. The light from the bulb is very nice. I expected, again, a bit more shine, a bit more gleam, you know, a bit more glisten from some of the blocks that we're not necessarily getting down here. I wonder if that's the case when it's in sun as well. Again, we'll see that in the Armoury. And I guess one thing that should be said is that RealismCraft obviously tries to deliver the entire pack. So you've got the dynamic world, you've got the custom generation, the mobs, the items, the blocks, all of that stuff. And now they're adding vibrant visuals. So it's not necessarily being positioned as a full vibrant visual pack. So I guess a footstep in that direction now is probably a little bit more acceptable than if you was to buy a full vibrant visual pack and not have much glisten and shine. So hopefully this will get updated. There's some misses in this for me, I believe. But looking at it as a whole with the overall, I can kind of see, and I see they've gone for the lighting. They've kind of gone for the brighter side of it than anything else. Okay, so this texture pack review is going to be a bit different. A few format pieces not here and a few jumping around. So why don't we go and head over to an ocean monument now and get a bit more of an effect underwater. Before we continue with this texture pack review, sneak peek early access of RealismCraft 2.2, let me just go over a few other things that were included in this update. Now, while we don't get a ton of new blocks or anything like that, and it is mostly about vibrant visuals, there was a few fixes included in this update as well. Like, for instance, the player sprint animation when jumping has been fixed. A meteor effect crashing into land used to occur too often, and that has been fixed. The speed of gliders have been fixed. A duplicate lens flare rendering for players when in a multiplayer world and standing too close to each other has been fixed. And the amount of balloons that would spawn around the world has apparently been fixed as well. And if we look at a bit of technical information as well, if you was to remove the textures and animations pack from RealismCraft 2.2, vibrant visuals would still be supported. They revert back to the vanilla style of vibrant visuals, and all of the custom RealismCraft blocks and entities will be supported with their proper PBR textures that are included in this vibrant visual update. You can also combine RealismCraft 2.2 with other vibrant visual packs to give it a different vibrant visual style, and that would be determined by the order of the packs, which I know you smart people out there already know. It should be noted though that when you combine RealismCraft with a vibrant visual texture pack, make sure you disable the texture and animations pack, otherwise you will cause conflicts in your world. And so we're above the ocean monument now to have a little look at the water. Nighttime is still upon us. It's midnight, so the moon is right above us. And we can see some glisten on the water. Very dark out here, though. I like that. I'm a big fan of darkness in vibrant visuals. You guys know that already if you've seen enough of my reviews. Got a little lava waterfall over there from where my armory spawned in, so just ignore that for now. But what I want to do is test night vision. Let's put this on. There is a slight uptick in visibility, but ever so slightly. Not a lot at all. And I need to get myself a milk bucket because I want to take that back off and I want to have another look underground, but in darkness. So grab that. Let's get this back off. And then let's get underground. Let's get underwater. Let's see how it looks at night under here with an actual area to focus on. So let the world catch us up a little bit. You can see, look, the moonlight and the water effects bouncing off of the blocks. A very good effect here. Very nice little effect on that one. Pop around. We got some fish lit up as well. Look, custom fish with their lit up textures. Got the sea lantern down here. I could have done with a height map on the sea lantern myself, but okay. Visibility is crazy down here, by the way. This is mental on here. Isn't there a helmet in RealismCraft? Hang on a second. H-E-L. Isn't there a light up helmet? There's a Viridium one. Maybe I'm thinking, is it a miner helmet? We put that on? Maybe not. Oh yeah, it is, yeah. Oh, but it's doing nothing for us underwater. Okay. Viridium helmet. Also doing nothing for us underwater either. Okay, so that's not having a ton of an effect. Let's get that back off then and throw them away. Again, we don't really need to look at the textures of the blocks. We get those nice light effects. On here, we get some more of those god rays coming through. I haven't turned underwater god rays back on, so this is a natural occurrence of nighttime moonlight rays underwater. We look over here, we can see the drowned have glowy eyes, and that's about it. The guardian has a glowy eye, but no glowy fawns. Okay. If we see the elder guardian down here, just pop this all open and just see what we've got going on. Hello. It's quite dark. There we go. He must have rendered inside the block. But yeah, not a ton of visual light ups going on there either. A bit of a shame. One thing I kind of wanted to check as well, not necessarily Ocean Monument, so do bear with me here. But if we head over into, is it this direction? Is this where the mountain is? Can't really tell. What I wanted was the helmet. Grab that back on. Are we getting... Okay, so we do have dynamic light, and it lights up the hand. It's not... I mean, we've got that lit up like that. That's not the greatest effect. I don't like that. I feel like that needs to be fixed completely. You can kind of see, though, that it is, in this view at least, affecting the water. But then that gets massively understated when you're in first person. So here you can see the shine. If you look past, you can see the shine on the water. It's very bright to look at. You're going to go blind. But then when you go into first person, that's not awesome. That's not awesome, I'm afraid. This is awesome, though. This right here. So hopefully, let me get this off again. Hopefully you guys can just keep seeing. I'm being as fair as I can be, but as honest as I need to be. And I need to be very, very honest here. Let's go over to my armory that I imported into this world, and let's see what all of the blocks look like. See if any cool height maps occur, and then do a view of them at nighttime as well. So for this armory section, I've actually turned off the clouds here. And in fact, this is one of the main reasons why I'm saying the sun position matters so much, because the sun has to be glaring on a lot of blocks to get the real vibrant visual effect. And that's in any texture pack here. So we'll try and keep an eye on the sun as well. We can see the light heating off of the light blocks in general. That'll be a good one to see at night. We can also see the Ender Dragon here seems to have some cool light effects going on. Some of these blocks are going to be awesome at night. Hopefully some of them are going to look really good during the day as well. We can see the ores. Not a ton of glow or anything going on here. But if we get up close, we've got height maps. That's awesome. The redstone height map here, that looks really nice. Like the stone has chiseled away and you can see the ore inside. I really like that. Height maps for me are so important to the best vibrant visual packs. You can see here as well, there's a slight glisten and shine on the copper golem, specifically this one here. And while lighting effects are obviously so important, so are water effects. Don't sleep on height maps. They're essentially fourth in the tier of all of the maps that you get, and you need to have the top three. Got some good height maps on here too. The fourth is like the first optional height map that you can get in vibrant visuals, and I think they're a must in my opinion. You can see the bundle on here as well. I don't think that's a height map on there really. Pop through for some of the colors on here too. RealismCraft, obviously you've got the custom models as well. They really haven't done iron very good though. Like obviously you've got the height maps, but they don't offer any shine to the iron and very little shine to the copper as well. RealismCraft believing that iron and copper is quite a dull block in that sense. Interesting creative choice there. We've then got the trees. If we get up a little bit closer, so the planks have got height maps, but not the fences. Okay, interesting. I'm a big fan of these planks though. I think they're really nice. It's quite a subtle height map as well. Like, I feel like it's not extended beyond a silly point. They're there and they're fine and I like them, but it does err on the side of subtlety to keep that RealismCraft effect coming along, I believe. And I think that's been a balance for them. I don't have any... Oh, that's a nice button. I don't have any, like, proof of this. Oh, the door has a height map too. Nice. Or at least it's implied. That looks like a height map to me, though. What was I going to say? I don't have any proof of this, but I would be very shocked if they didn't have a very tough time while doing this, balancing what makes RealismCraft while making vibrant visuals of vibrant visuals. And so I can understand why they've gone for a more subtle feel, why they've gone for a more understated feel, and why they probably thought water was very important to do, height maps very important to do, but not change the overall feel of the world. I hope that makes sense. That's kind of my understanding of it, just looking at this here. But I mean, yeah, if this was a purely dedicated vibrant visual texture pack, I'd be like, not the biggest fan. As an addition to everything else, and kind of with a promise that you're going to get more when the game allows more, and it's not been increased in price, I'm a bit more forgiving of it. I hope you guys can understand that. As we go through here, concrete, powder, and concrete. There's not a ton of shine on these blocks, though. Where is the sun? The sun's right above us. Let's put the sun back to daytime to get that kind of heat on it. You see, though, the heat does hit the block, and it does absorb that. I think I might need to read a few artistic books to get the complete understanding of what this all is. Got the water on here with the running water. Got the ice. Ice feels cold. Fair dues. Then you've obviously got the gravel, the mud, the moss, the brick, the mud bricks and stuff. You've got tough on here. Not really much of a shine to the polish either. Reinforced deep slate. And the rest of deep slate. Endstone and purple. Feel like either something's not quite hitting in Minecraft preview, or they could have done a bit more. Like, this is awesome. This height map on here, look at that. That is so nice. But for that individual glisten and shine, something seems to be missing. And I hope that can be taken as a constructive criticism. I'm not trying to be edgy or be negative for no reason. Like, again, really good height map. But I feel like they could do more with that shining light. Not a ton going on here. Like the polished andesite, the polished diorite, the polished granite probably could have done with a bit more. Let's have a look at bricks. So yeah, I feel like there could have been a bit of a better height map on that. Like here, this, maybe at night this will glisten a bit more. Like I can see there's elements of it. There is a height map there, the gold. The more I look at this, especially on this face, you can see it's kind of chipped away at it. On the top here as well. Maybe under certain lighting. Maybe we can test it. Let's see. So if we go to time noon, maybe? No. What about time sunset? Oh no, it dies there. Okay. That's teleport. Time sunrise? No, I mean there's a bit of a, there was a slight pulse of light there, but I don't know. Sun position matters so much. That's the best I've got for you on that one, to be fair. On here we've got the mossy bricks. Maybe a bit more of a height map needed there. Mossy cobblestone. See, because there's a height map here. I can see it. Yeah, I'm going to just be the height map guy, I think. Oh, my cactus broke. That's a shame. Can I get a sand? Do we do this now? Probably not, but here we are. We're doing it. Sand. Where are we? Sand. Smooth sand. Just standard sand, please, game. Just standard sand. Thank you. And then if we pick that block as well. Let's get that one up through here and there. And then we're going to chuck in the cactus. I just kind of wanted to see. Yeah, there's height maps there. Yep. Okay, fine. Fair enough. Fair. Oh, never mind. Grab that one there. That one there. And then a cactus flower as well. Okay. Then you've got the flowers for RealismCraft. Some of them animated. We can see the mobs in here as well. You've got the ghast there. We've got villagers. Not a ton of stuff going on. Obviously, we already knew about the iron golem. The creaking with his weird facial expression. Okay, sorry, dude. The copper golem down there as well. I mean, let's just, like, these are good examples here, though, for instance. Like, RealismCraft adds the custom models in, so you're getting a lot for it. I feel like, yeah, this is definitely step... What is that spider doing? Okay. Definitely step one of vibrant visuals here. The leather armors. Copper with some really good height mapping on that. That is really good. I really like that. Chainmail also has the height map. It's not quite as strong. Iron, really good. Gold, really good. Just up that glisten. Look, yeah, that there. That shine. Did you see it in the gold? Hang on. Here we go. Look. As we're moving, that shine of the light. Oh, that's good. We need more of that. I need more of that. I need more of that. I'm not going to talk for you guys. I need more of that. Diamond, how did that go? No, see? Oh, yeah, there is some. There's a little hint of it. A little hint of it. I need more. Turn that up. Up to 11. But yeah, the height maps, the 3D models. Oh, so good. So very good there, for real. The weaponry, 3D models on here. As you would expect from RealismCraft. Just pop all the way through here. Got the mace on here as well. There's some, yeah, I think there's a 3D map in there. Trident. The pumpkin's probably a bit too bright, but yeah, look, again, 3D mapping. See, I'm here to call out 3D mapping. I love 3D mapping. I think it's great. There's the fire. The end portal, both lit and unlit. Nether portal. Obsidian not looking that good. This looks like it's not working quite right. It's almost too shiny. Like, the overlay is shiny. I don't know, man. I don't know enough about it, but that's what I'm thinking. And then we've got the conduit and the water there. So now if we was to set this to, say, midnight and have a little flyover again, how would that look? So if anything stands out to us here, we can see. Not really at the moment. The LA is bright blue. That's cool. The witch has a glow on her hat. Okay, getting a lot of lag here though at night. Okay. The lag, of course, I know I keep saying it, but I want to stress it. That's Minecraft preview. That's being on a realm, not necessarily RealismCraft here. Nothing jumping out as being essentially a nighttime block here. But look at that Nether trees. Okay, the Nether trees are looking good. From afar, let's just get away from all of these blocks. Here we go. We got the warped tree. The crimson tree. Crimson tree is definitely my favorite. That's awesome. Okay. See the light coming off of the creaking heart. Let's keep going through here. The glow on the signs as well is quite nice. And if we come along here, got the redstone glowing. Yeah, the ores aren't particularly glowy at all, really. The magma block. You see a few lit up ones here. Yeah, look at that. The dragon's head is good. You see the lights on there too. Okay, they're not too bad. So a few blocks do come alive at night. What about a few of the custom blocks? And so I've chosen a few of the custom blocks to have a look at here. So we've got this one, which is a soul chiseled black stone. Looks like it's got some height maps in there. We might have to bounce back and forth between day and night here just to really get an effect. But yeah, that's got a nice little shine, a little glow to it, which is quite cool. If we go back into daytime, we've got some of these boxes of fruit. Not much going on that one, but on this one, I believe there's like elements of height mapping here. Maybe not. Let's go to noon. Yeah, no, there is. There's some height mapping onto here as well. So little bits of detail. We've got a table there. The fence and the chair, not really much going on. You've got the custom model of the candle. The cannon looks quite nice. And you've got here for the bamboo crate. Again, I think there's some implied height mapping going on there. We've got the scrapper, which definitely has height mapping on here, which is cool. You can see it's got that movement to it as well as we're going. We've got a balloon, which doesn't have a ton going for it, and a boat. And then over here as well for the turret, which also has some height mapping into it, which is also very, very nice. Okay, so yeah, for me, it's a mixed bag at this point because we've seen some good stuff at night. We obviously know RealismCraft comes with a lot of good stuff. But then also, I feel like it's missing the boat in certain areas. I'm very interested to know what you guys think. Now, where are my top RealismCraft fans? Get into the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Remember, in its defense, this is not a vibrant visual texture pack. This is a dynamic world of epic proportions. So, a little bit different. And they're not increasing the price. So, technically, we are getting this for free if you already own RealismCraft. So, we have to keep that in mind. But I do hope to see some more improvements from vibrant visuals and just blow it up with shine and light and glisten, which will affect performance, I'm sure. Let's head into the Nether and let's see what's going on there. And so into the Nether we go then. On Minecraft preview, like you can see. Let's get out of the portal. Let's have a look and see what we've got going on. Now, RealismCraft usually has an amazing Nether full stop. Now, that normally comes with a lot of the forced god rays. You'll see I haven't preloaded the world here. This is my first time seeing it. So we're going to get that weird realm spawning that happens. Darkness is definitely key here. Obviously, I've got my chunks rendering 16 chunks. So that's also going to mess up some visibility for us. But if we have a look around, oh, we got another fortress near us. Look at that. Okay. So on here, that's nice. And to know that that's not... Oh, well, actually, I say to know that it's not. I haven't actually looked at the Nether settings. Let's go into here, VFX. Let's see what Nether settings we've got going on here. So, ambient Nether. So, we've got lingering souls. Soul god rays are here. Okay, so it does keep those in. But I suppose it's managing it a little bit better. Is this Nether weather as well for us? Okay. To know that that's being handled correctly is a good feeling. What happens if we come up here? Got that fiery effects. Hop in through here. Oh, look at that. Look at that as a build. The weather really getting in our way at this point, in fact. That looks quite nice having certain parts of it lit up. Okay, so the custom build's looking really good. Okay, I'm here for that. Can we get out of a soul sand valley and maybe have a look at a bit more of the world? Maybe not. Here we go. Let's see. We're in a basalt delta now. It's not a massive change, in my opinion, from what RealismCraft was. We do have Nether and Wither on here now, with the heat effects. It's just kind of RealismCraft, isn't it? Like, I suppose under the hood, like, look at the lava. The lava's burning great. We've got some good heat and light effects here. Actually, here we go. See, yeah, Nether and Wither was actually in the way. Once we get to here, the heat off of this biome is kind of crazy still. Look at that. The light coming from the glowstone, the light coming from the lava, the red fog. Okay, this is what I wanted. This kind of light, this kind of lighting effect is very, very nice. I was going to say, though, like, it is still very much RealismCraft and not so much innovative, vibrant visuals. I hope that's not taken in a bad way. But yeah, it's keeping what's true with RealismCraft, isn't it? And then look, we get some darkness again as we pop back into the Soul Sand Valley. Do want to go and see like a crimson biome. I want to see like a warped biome. Can we see any of those as we're flying around? This is strong. This is pure heat right here, which is very strong. We just keep looking around. I'm going to just let you guys see, because look, that shine, that's awesome. The shine off of that, for me, is great. More of that, please. Here we go. I think we're coming into like a crimson area. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Got custom builds looking. This looks strong. Yeah, more of the... Honestly, it's not difficult to do a good vibrant visual pack, in my opinion, for me. Obviously, there's a lot of technical stuff to it, but use the light, man. Use everything. Find out everything that you can with light. Shine, glow, glisten, spark, brightness. And then wrap it in darkness. Look at this. For me, that's all I want. That's all I want. Heat, light, yeah. And you see it in abundance here. The crimson biome looking strong. The crimson... Oh, and the way it spawns in and you get the shadows. Obviously spawning in from a realm, so that's a bit different. But you get the shadows. Just really making the light feel strong. We've got some structure up there as well. Now what I'm kind of looking for now is a warped biome. And here we go. We found one. Oh, you know what? That purple fog in the background actually does some real bits for it. Let's walk through it. I always get accused of not walking through things enough, and I completely agree. I completely agree. But the thing is, it's a lot of up and downs, and it's quite dense in terms of seeing what you need to see. So walking through it wasn't very strong, but as an overall effect, like we popped into a crimson there, that kind of starry night with the dust particles lit up and flying around. You've got the custom structures, all adds together to be very strong. Very strong. Is it the best vibrant visual pack I've ever seen? Nah. Is it a vibrant visual pack? Nah. So I think there's something here, but there's definite room for improvement. Let's head to the end now. I'm actually keen to see the end. So let's go to the end and let's see the dragon. And into the end we go then. Oh, here's the beautiful purple of RealismCraft that I'm used to. Here we go. That purpley violet. Oh, hello. Yes. I like that. I like that pulsing light. Always have done, always will. Alright, VFX settings, ambient end. Let's see. End glow, end dust, end ground fog, void cap halo, and glare pod halo. No idea what any of that means. But okay. Let's go around here. I have realized as well that I did actually turn off mob spawning, which is not good. Game rule, mob spawning true. Does the dragon count as a mob spawn? If she does, that is very much a shame. All right, let me get the dragon. Hang on. Ignore me completely. She was here the whole time. Oh, look at that. That is majestic. Okay, that is majestic. The way that pulsed, the lights coming off of the crystals, the lights on her as well. See what I'm saying? Just get everything you can with like shine, glow, glisten, wrap it in darkness. Give me a pulsar light. Give me another pulsar light, please. Please. Oh, look at that. Yes, please. Yes, please. I know exactly what my final opinion is of this. I know exactly what it is, and it's going to be very fair. Let's go out 10,000, 100, 10,000. Let's see what the chorus fruits are looking like. So no real glisten or glow on the chorus fruits. It's a bit of a plainer end dimension out here. Obviously, we're waiting for that light again. There it is. There it is. Could it be more? Yes, it could. Is it better than nothing? 100%. The dragon definitely carried a lot of weight for me there. And that initial island as well looked very, very nice. If we carry on just flying around, I just want to have a look over here. Here we go. Spawn that in for me, realm. Wanted to just get the visual effect of that. With the shadows on there, it feels quite epic. With the shadows, lighting it up, the way the light's hitting it, feels so strong there as well. It could use a helping hand in places. 100%. There's definite room for some improvement. There's definite room for criticism here. That looks so good. Alright, let's go down to the ancient city. Let's see what the Warden looks like. And so we're here in the ancient city then, and I'm not drinking night vision potion. We're going to get a full effect of this darkness. We've got blues, a lot of blues here. I like the use of blues in the scope. Let's get a little bit closer. We've got that lighter blue, that darker blue, the white, giving off that kind of starry light effect, which is quite nice. It's quite nice. The soul lanterns as well, looking very bright. Again, bright lights, glisten, glow, wrap it in darkness. Look how dark this area is around here. Very nice, very nice. And if we was to go and put a night vision potion on, how's that going to look? So yeah, we've got this weird running water effect. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that. Constructively, I'm not a fan of that. But the skulk is actually a darker blue, which what's made it stand out against the grey, darker shadows of the world. Okay. Interesting. Diamond's got a bit of a glow to it in night vision. If we hit the milk bucket, no, it disappears. It disappears. But that blue is helping. You see the blue on the skulk? It's helping it really pulse. I'm here for that. I think that's cool. Because you see the way the blue here as well. Blue works really good here. Okay. And one thing I wanted to check as well before we get the Warden to come and spawn in is, so torches, dynamic light works. And it does work. Yeah, there's no real weird effect here with the torch. We did obviously have that weird effect with the miner helmet, which if I put that on, we go into here. So, okay, so you do get the effect in here in this kind of a darkness. And it works. It just looked weird on the water. And I still say this is a bit too fake for it. And probably needs to be a bit updated. But the other thing I wanted to check was, so isn't it if you crouch and then press L2, yeah, it goes into your offhand. Here we go. And it's still working fine. So dynamic light is pretty much working as good as you could hope. And then if we was to get the Warden out here. And so the Warden has spawned somewhere. Here we go. Wow, you couldn't see him in darkness. He's practically invisible in darkness. So he's got like the slightest bit of glisten and glow to him. Let's light him up. Whoa, okay. Looking as ferocious as ever. But I really like that pulsing heart effect on him. And then you've got the starry skies on him as well, giving off those light effects as well. And so they do it in places, and they've probably chosen artistically why they do it. There's a few choices I'm not 100% sure of, like in terms of iron not exactly being very shiny, maybe get a bit more glisten and glow on ores and stuff like that, just to really try and bulk out that darkness effect. I feel like it could do with a lot more shine on copper and things like that. But looking at this, you know, looking at it fairly, in my opinion. And obviously, thank you Spark Universe for giving me early access. Everything I say is meant in a constructively criticism kind of way. There are things I like. I like the night water effects. I think they're cool. I think we could probably step up a few of the underwater God Ray effects, the natural ones, not the fake ones using the VFX settings, but like the naturally occurring ones need to kind of be stepped up. But at nighttime, I think it's a very strong effect. I like the Nether, although it does kind of make Nether weather feel a little bit faker. You know, that blaring, flaming effect that happens in the Nether? It feels a little bit too comical now with a lot of the other effects that are going on. And I feel like there could be maybe a bit more of what you're seeing behind me around the world, where certain things are just lit up, a bit more lighting effects and things like that. And then obviously I've pointed out the miner helmet and I've pointed out the running water. But we do need to look at this fairly. It's not a vibrant visual texture pack. It's a dynamic world. So with everything added in, I think it's a step in the right direction, right? They're going to update, they're going to upgrade, they're going to improve. This is still the RealismCraft that you expect. It's still the RealismCraft that you probably love if you're an enjoyer of RealismCraft. And I feel like adding that vibrant visuals effect, just steamroller it up and pick up a bit more as it goes along. It's great. We'd be having a completely different conversation right now, early access or not, if this was a vibrant visual texture pack, but it's not. So let's just remember that when we're looking it through. Hopefully you enjoyed this essentially texture pack review, but sneak peek of RealismCraft 2.2. Thank you very much to Spark Universe for giving me early access. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please do leave a like on the video. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this as a dynamic world with vibrant visuals. And if you're new to the channel, please do hit the subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Peace!